Buongiorno, everyone. Oh, it feels lovely. Welcome to Lineup Predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. And it's a good one for a change. Oh, let's get comfortable here. It's been about 2 years since I've been doing lineup predictions here at the Magpie Channel TV. And everyone has been under Steve Bruce's management. Just making sure you can hear us all right. 2 years I've sat and listened to Steve Bruce's press conferences. Talking shit. Bollocks. First one. Obviously, maybe you can tell by the white walls, but there's a bit of a change up. I'm moving house and stuff. Maybe it's been a little bit quieter on the channel than usual, but that's why. There's going to be some stuff behind there soon, but so yeah, missed the Tottenham game, unfortunately. I had a lot to do, but honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing that I haven't got to put up with Brucey anymore. Gateshead Graham's Saudi Mags go down to Selhurst Park tomorrow, 3 o'clock kickoff. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. No television, no Sky Sports, no BT. Big Renty and Rubenstein will be down there, so look out for the post-match content on the Magpie channel here afterwards with them too. Match day vlog and all that to come. Still going to be a tough game though. Obviously, Brucey led the Tottenham game, so even if I was here to do lineup predictions and all the match day content after that, it still would have been a heavy defeat. Well, it wasn't really a heavy defeat. It was 3-2. On paper, it was all right. Performance wasn't great, but Brucey was still at the helm. Now, honestly, last season, Newcastle and Crystal Palace over the past few years have been lifting fixtures because it's been dinosaur ball. Bruceysaurus versus Hodgesaurus. Roy Hodgson and Steve Bruce. Could you picture two worst managers in the Premier League to watch? What boring. Like, honestly, the Premier League is a better place without these two. Just boring teams to watch, boring tactics, nothing really about them. So thankfully we've got Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace. Hopefully he does a good job. I was a little bit weary about the appointment of Vieira, to be fair. I can't remember who he was at in the French league. I think it was like Nice or somewhere like that. Had an opportunity in Les Jeunes in France and didn't really do too well. And I think he had New York City over in America before that as well. But and obviously, Brucey, Gateshead Graham, it's going to be a tough for him. Obviously, it's only an interim position. We don't really know what the crack is. Paulo Fonseca's maybe expected to be announced in the coming days or weeks. Jones has been confirmed to take over at least the next couple of games. So that includes Chelsea next weekend at home. But things are supposedly moving fast with Fonseca. He could even be at Selhurst Park. He might be there to watch the game tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see about that. And a deal could be agreed during the week. The club are keeping their options open, though. They're keeping an eye on a few other appointments, but talks with Fonseca have been made and could potentially be agreed in the coming days. Obviously, we'll have to just wait and see. But now Vieira's done a pretty good job, to be fair, down at Crystal Palace. I'm looking at their stats. They're currently 14th. They've only won one game, which is maybe a little bit of a bad reflection. Won 1, drew 5, and only lost 2. They're unbeaten at home. 4 games, only that 1 win. In the last 5 games, though, they've drew the last 3. So they're unbeaten in the last 3. Draws against very good sides as well. Monday night against Arsenal was a 2-2. And they got a draw against Leicester at home and Brighton at home. One of the big defeats in the last 5 games was Liverpool 3-0. Obviously, Liverpool's smashing it at the minute. Mo Salah's absolutely unstoppable. But the one before that, the one win they've got this season was a 3-0 at home to Tottenham. That's a big result. Like, obviously, we just got beat off them last time out. So, yeah, only that one win this season at home against Tottenham, and then draws against Brentford, Brighton, Leicester, and Arsenal. So, yeah, they've been doing all right. A decent running for them. I think they've got more to do, though. Obviously, Zaha, he's their key player. He's just he should be back for this game. He missed out on Monday night against Arsenal, but he has been training and is expected to play. And in doubly good news, Eze, he's going to be out of this game, but he was a little bit questionable during the week because he has been back in training, which I'm really happy to hear about because I'm a big fan of Eze. I wish we signed him the year before when Palace did. I think he's a great player. It was bad news to hear about him at the start of the season. He was expected to be out until the new year. So the fact that he's been back in training and was questionable for this game at the end of October is brilliant news. If you can back by the end of October, start of November, that's great news for them, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back on the field. But it's also good that he's not playing against Newcastle. I think the only other absentee for Crystal Palace is Nathan Ferguson. Not really key player there, so nothing really too much to worry about there. I'm going to have a read at your comments, so get them in. Anything to talk about, get it in now. We're just going to have a run through Newcastle and Crystal Palace's record. Like I say, Roy Hodgson versus Steve Bruce over the past few years hasn't really pulled out some very good fixtures. So, like, at home and away, it's been so even. Like, nothing really much to split between them. Obviously, like I say, boring games, really. A win, a loss, and a draw for each team, both home and away. At Selhurst Park last season, we got a 2-0 victory down there. The season before was a 1-0 loss, and the season before, a 0-0 draw. Now at St James's over the past 3 seasons, Palace got the 2-1 win last season. We won 1-0 the season before, and again, a 0-0 draw. So even over the past 3 years, both home and away. Nothing really to split these two sides. So obviously, let's say, thankfully, Bruce and Roy are out the door, and it's Vieira versus Jones tomorrow night. A new dawn for both of these clubs. None more so for us. Obviously, we've got the Saudis behind us, the new ownership. That's the spirit that we need. New managerial as well. Bruce is gone. Like, our hopes are a lot higher than they've been in years. Like I say, like, it's still the same old team. I'm not expecting miracles. I don't expect things to change overnight. Just because we've got a change of owner and a change of manager, I'm still not expecting miracles. But this is going to be a good test for us. I say Palace have had a decent year. Only the one win, though. Unbeaten at Selhurst Park. It's going to be a tough test, and I think it should be an entertaining game as well. So that's good. Going to go into Newcastle's team news in a second. Just going to have a look at your comments. Hi, Christian. Going to miss Bruce massively. Hello, Callum. Good to see you, mate. It's been a couple of weeks. Good to see you there. Nice to have some passion. Exactly, yeah, that's a point I was going to bring up, to be fair. Graham Jones in his press conference today, it's so refreshing. Like, I don't know if I've even heard him speak before, but he's got such a Geordie accent. You can proper tell he's from up north. Like, he hasn't really had much, like, the elocution lessons like what Brucey had. Like, sometimes, like, players go down south, even like Shearer, like on Match of the Day, like and Deck and that, like they lose their accents a little bit. But Graham Jones is as proper Geordie as they could possibly be, and it's great to hear him speak about how he was a fan, how when he was a kid, he used to go with games to his dad and watch Malcolm McDonald, and grew up as a fan during the Keegan playing era and the Keegan managing era. Like, it is so refreshing, and it's great to hear like how optimistic he is. And he even said like some of the things he's achieved like in his career. Like, he won the FA Cup. I'm sure that was with Wigan. I think that was about 2010. Took England to the Euros final this year. He's been co-manager of Belgium, who's currently ranked number 1 in the world. What else has he done? He's done a fair amount in his career, but he said just to be caretaker manager of Newcastle is by far the biggest achievement in his career, and one that his family's always going to be proud of, and that's meant like so good to hear that. We get to fully enjoy the extent of Newcastle again. Yeah, absolutely. Got a pre-matchup prediction there. What we're saying: Manquillo, Fernandez, Clark, Lewis, Hayden, Willock, Ritchie, Maximum, Wilson, Joe Linton in a 4-1-2-3 formation. Sounds good to me. That formation is what I've been wanting to see for donkeys. So yeah, hope you're right. You'd rather have how? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Lukaku and Werner's been confirmed to be injured for this weekend and the weekend after, which actually have just dawned on us is Newcastle the weekend after. So yeah, that's definitely good news. Werner always scores a goal, goes on one of them droughts and scores a goal against Newcastle. Inside info from the Saudis, apparently, that Fonseca's it's done deal. You heard it here first, Magpie Channel exclusive. Stop jumping. 3 players Newcastle should sign. Let us hear it. Who are the 3 players Newcastle should sign? I think I've had a bit too many of them. 3 Newcastle players Newcastle should sign in January with the new money. Get them in the comments. Is a change in formation coming? Aaron thinks that we should see the diamond formation. The defenders picked will be interesting. Yeah, we should see about that. We could go on an unbeaten run till the end. I won't get too carried away. I would like to think so. Just surviving at the minute would be good enough. Like, what? Still 19th in the Premier League. Still no wins under the belt. So, yeah, the aim of the game right now is just to survive. And then once the summer hits, we can get a fresh start. Even if we don't get the manager that we want right now, we'll definitely get it in the summer. A big budget in the summer to completely change things around. For the time being, there's other things to invest in. I know that the new owners want to invest in the community, and rightly so, want to invest in the training facilities, the youth academy, the stadium, the surroundings. Like, they've got a big project on their hands. Like, Mike Ashley's left us in the shit. 15 years of neglect. It's a lot to turn around, more than just what's happening on the field. So, yeah, I'm not going to get my hopes too excited for the rest of the season, but there's hope. There's optimism for the first time in God knows how long. Even under Rafa, we had that hope. But with Mike Ashley, there was always just that little, no, there's just not a great lot of hope. Like Mike Ashley, Rafa Benitez was just like a little sprinkling of hope that we needed. Without him, with Steve Bruce and Mike Ashley and Lee Charnley and all the Steves, that's just been absolutely out. Yeah, Vieira has done bits. Yeah, I say only 1 win this season. It was a very good 3-0 win at home to Tottenham. But yeah, they have done all right. Only 2 defeats and unbeaten at home against playing like Brighton's had a really good year. They got a draw against them, Leicester, Arsenal. So yeah, had a really good year. This is going to be tough against Palace. Oh yeah, Odsonne Edouard. Yeah, he's a very good player. He's one that we've been linked with for years, coming from Celtic. I'm sure even just last year, like he was probably one of among the fans, like top go-to players. But we thought like, he's going to be worth like 20, 25 million that Mike Ashley won't spend. Palace got him for like 14, and he's already been scoring goals. Like, it's a shame that we missed out on that one, but under Mike Ashley, we missed out on absolutely everyone. What do you think about the media making Bruce out to be a victim and saying supporters treated him unfairly? Bullshit. Like, he has been. I don't even know if it's unfairly. Like, yeah, he's been treated somewhat harshly, but just simply not being good enough. Like, honestly, the villain in here is Mike Ashley, and he's always been the problem. Like, yeah, like Bruce didn't help himself. He wasn't good enough. Look at where we are, 19th in the league, no wins. But Mike Ashley should have, A, not appointed him in the first place because he's never been good enough, or B, sack him when he needed to. Like last January when we went through a bad run. Like, someone correct me on what his winners have been. Is it like 5 wins in like 37 games or something? Like, you deserve to get sacked after that. I don't know why it's such a big talking point that we're 19th in the league without a win this season. Like, I can't remember even that much talk about when the Arsenal manager, not Arsenal, was it Cisco, the Watford manager, when he got sacked. I think he's done a very good job. I think Watford's had a decent year. He got them promoted, made a bunch of good signings. Emmanuel Dennis, I'm a big fan of. They brought in the likes of Danny Rose, Josh King, made some really good signings, and they weren't even in the bottom 3, I don't think, when he got sacked. I don't even think there was much talk that when Ranieri won the Premier League, like, he should have had a job for life. Like, he done the unthinkable. I'm sure Leicester were like 5,000 to 1. They were odds on to get relegated that year. and they won the Premier League. They were doing pretty badly in the league, fair enough, but they were doing all right in the Champions League. Like, it's the first time that they'd ever played Champions League football, and I think they were putting all the eggs into that basket, and I'm sure they were top of that group, bottom of the Premier League, but top of the Champions League group. 9 months ago, won the Premier League, and he got sacked. He should have been Sir Ranieri of Leicestershire. He should have had a statue outside the ground of him, like, and he got sacked, and nobody was talking about it. Like, not much anyway. It was like, oh, can't believe Ranieri's got sacked, but there wasn't fucking this much media scrutiny. Honestly, it's an absolute joke. And the bloke's left with £8 million in his pocket. Have a fucking day off, man. Jones giving an example of how he was a fan. Yeah, nah, it was a class interview. If you haven't watched it, it's on the Newcastle website. You can find it on Twitter. That'll be good. Gallagher, Gallagher. I think he's in my fantasy team, actually. Gallagher, yeah, he's a really good player. I think he's really good. Hope Shaw, Lewis, and Fraser all get a chance tomorrow. Big statement. 3 lads that are on the fringe, especially Lewis. A lot of people have been calling for Jamal Lewis to get a game this season. Hasn't really had much. Like, Richie's been the starter at left back. Has he deserved it? Has he been good enough? Arguably. Like, every line of prediction I've done, I think, so far this season, everyone's been calling for Lewis to get a chance and hasn't really yet. And Fraser just needs to stay fit, really. He's always on the fringes because he's never bloody fit. So glad to have our club back. Hello, Diego. They're the 3 signings we should make: Sterling, Lewandowski, and Alphonso Davies. Get it in. Really feel like we're going to put on a fight tomorrow. Yeah, me too. I'm quite looking forward to it for the first time in a long, long time. Like I say, I know it's not going to happen overnight. I know we're not going to win the rest of it. I know we're not going to win the Premier League or go on an unbeaten run, as someone said before. Hopefully that was a joke. I can see the sarcasm in that. But yeah, I'm really optimistic about going forward now with Graham Jones instead of Bruce and the backing of the owners. Hopefully we can have a decent spell in January and get the right manager in, if that's Paulo Fonseca or Frank Lampard or Favre or Howe, whoever it is. Like, I trust the owners that will back them, give them the money to spend in January, and we'll be absolutely sound from relegation come the end of the year. Cam's predictions: 2-1 in Newcastle, but see a draw at full time. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. I say the last 6 games between us have been a 2-0, a 1-0, a 0-0, a 2-1, a 1-0, a 0-0. So very close, not much. That was the record. 7 wins in 37. Sackable, simply. We need Tarkowski in defence. Maybe break the bank for Kante. Oh, I don't know if that would happen, like. And I would take Hala up front. Coutinho. Yeah, I'd love Coutinho, to be fair. We were linked with him back when the takeover was first talked about a couple of years ago. I think at the time he was on loan at, was he on Bayern Munich the season before last? Yeah, 8 million payoff. Mental. Anybody? Not really. Only the likes of Elliot Anderson. Who's the other lad up front? We've got Joe White and is it Stevenson? Dylan Stevenson. Do you think Wenger would be good? Nah, not anymore. He's too old. He's got like his FIFA job. I think he's cushy. He'll just get a few years payoff from FIFA and then retire in a few years. Like, I don't really see him going back to anybody in management anymore. Donny van der Beek will be Calm's first pick in January. Worth a punt, even on loan. I don't know if we would sign him on a permanent, but definitely try and get him in on loan. Like, I think he's a top class player. His last year in Ajax, he was nominated for a Ballon d'Or, man. And he can't even get a game for Man United, so might as well. Emery would be Calm's first choice. Ooh, don't know about that. Like, didn't have the greatest spell with Arsenal, but I don't know, with a bit of money behind him. Like, he obviously had the PSG job, done all right with PSG, and he's actually done a really good job with Sevilla as well. Beat Man United to the Europa League final during the at the end of last season. So yeah, maybe. Richie good attack end, but defensive shite. I've heard this report today that we are going to break the release clause for Luis Diaz from Porto. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the owner's ambition is. So quite possibly. I've heard that rumor today as well from Portuguese media saying that it's pretty much a done deal. Deal's been agreed that Newcastle's going to spend £65 million on Luis Diaz. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Santiago Muñoz, young in the academy as well. We've got the likes of Rodrigo Vilca. Plenty of youngsters, but not really being given much of a chance. No, yeah, it was Villarreal, not Sevilla, my bad. Oh yeah, because he won like 3 in a row with Sevilla, didn't he? He won like 3 in a row with Sevilla, then went to Arsenal. Or was it the other way around? Was it Sevilla, then PSG? Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, he won 3 Europa Leagues with Sevilla and then one with Villarreal last year. Fraser not being fit. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, loads of players got injured under Brucey. Right, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to come back to your comments in a bit. Going to go through Newcastle's team news and get this lineup prediction out of the way. I've been going for 20 minutes. See what happens. A little bit of optimism. And we can talk all day. Usually these only last 20, 30 minutes at most. Sometimes I can barely be asked. You know how it is, honestly. The last few ones I've done, I can't really be asked. Like, me mood and me optimism, it's just been gone. Like, I can't be asked with Newcastle this season. Like, even most of last season, just coming on a video and talking about Newcastle and Steve Bruce was honestly draining. I couldn't be asked. That's why, like, sometimes during these lineup predictions, like, I just try and get them out of the way. Just I've got better things to do with my day, to be honest. But now, like, just talk to us, get something in the comment. Let's have a chat. Like, I'm more than happy to talk about this. Like, there's optimism now. We're all like happy that there's been a change. Like, this is what happens in football. Some people don't even understand if you're not a football fan. Like, Tony football, Steve Brucey done an all right job. No, man. Like, it just changes absolutely everything. And I know, like I say, it's not going to change overnight, but the optimism and the hope that we'll have going forward, I say under Rafa Benitez, like, we had the hope that if we did get taken over, Rafa would be the prime guy to go forward. And I believe that. And I think that's what Rafa was waiting for. And I think what others like Sir Maximin's been waiting for. I think this takeover has been on the fringes for so long that people's just been sitting and waiting. But the time came for Rafa. He couldn't hang on any longer and then replaced with Steve Bruce. And then all hope went out the window. Like, we'll get a takeover. We've got Steve Bruce. The owner needs to get them out as soon as possible. And fair play to them. Could have got rid of him sooner, maybe, but nah. I think they've done the right thing. Just holding on. Like, at least they got to see it for themselves. Started off well, went 1-0 up in like 2 minutes, and then 3 goals and a red card later, tits up. I know it looks on paper that 3-2 was all right, bit of a fluky own goal forward towards the end, but nah. I need to remove that comment. So I'm going to come back to them, and then I'm going to just talk about the team news. So, I spoke about the red card. John Joe Shelby, obviously suspended from his stupid red card. I think he came on, played about 12 minutes, placed a few misplaced passes, got 2 yellow cards. Sound great performance from you, Shelby. Been missing all season. Come on, do that. No worries. You can be one of the first out of the window in January, sunshine. Martin Dubravka and Paul Dummett are back in training, but still not ready to come back, so they will miss this game. Could be in contention for Chelsea. We're not too sure. Obviously, still have to monitor them. And other than that, pretty much a full team. Elliot Anderson's another one who's been back in training, been struggling a little bit this season with injuries, and at the end of last season as well. He's had a little bit of a poor time of it, the kid. But yeah, he's back in training, just the same as what Dummett and Dubravka are, but still too early for them to get into the team. And Miggy Almiron is available now. Came back late from international duty with Paraguay before the Tottenham game. It was questionable whether he would make it. Didn't know if he was just going to take a spot on the bench or be fully rested. It was the latter. He did come back way too late, so didn't get into the squad, but is back available now and being back in training all week. So that is the team news. Other than that, we've got a pretty full squad. So honestly, when Dummett and Dubravka come back, that's literally a full squad. Like, we've got so many to choose from. That's why, like, I don't know if you follow us on Twitter, they me tags in the corner there. Anytime I can't do a lineup prediction video for the channel, I always put one on me Twitter. I always just make like one on me phone, just put it on me Twitter. So make sure you follow us if you do miss any. So what I did put last week was that there was some that was going to miss out, and I don't really know why. It's just out of favour, and one of them was Kraft, and I was right with that. I think I left Fraser out because I wasn't sure on his fitness, and I had Miggy on the bench, but obviously Miggy made it, so Fraser came on the bench. So we're going to go into the lineup news then to stop me waffling on. I'm tagging shit. I'm going to have another swing because it's fucking Friday. Into the lineup then. And Carl Darlow in goal, of course. We've got to follow on Twitter already. Is that Richie? Shout out Richie there. Yes, you are. Yeah, so Carl Darlow goal, of course, without Dubravka back. I still don't really know where Woodman is. There's been nothing really mentioned about Freddie Woodman in the past few press conferences. Like, I know he's been injured, he hasn't been available. Mark Gillespie's been on the bench. I said his name right. I usually say Keith. It is Mark Gillespie. Well done. 10 out of 10 for me. So Carl Darlow keeps his place in goal. In the back four, I'm going to keep it the same. And it's a bit of a strange one, obviously, because we don't really know what Graham Jones is going to do. I'm pretty confident Lascelles, as the captain's, obviously going to keep his place. I don't think Manquillo needs changed at the minute. Could replace him with either Kraft, very unlikely, but maybe Murphy, who's obviously more of an attacking wing back, if anything. But if we're going to play a flat back four, which I thoroughly believe Graham Jones is going to do, that's what I think is maybe going to happen. Who's going to partner Lascelles? Could be Clark, could be Fernandez, could be Shaw. I really, really don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that one. And left back is a very interesting one. I did touch on this before between Richie and Lewis. If you remember Graham Jones's first game when he came in, I think it would have been January of last year. Things changed immediately. His first game is the assistant coach, along with the nine Steves and Graham. The squad changed immediately because we were playing 5 at the back. And in his first game, we played 4 at the back, and Jamal Lewis started and had probably one of his best games for the club. He was unbelievable. Helped tee up the second goal for Callum Wilson towards the end. So I'd keep an eye on that one more than anything. Will Jonesy go with Jamal Lewis, or will he stick with Richie, who's played every game so far in the Premier League this season? And who will partner Lascelles at centre back? The other, I think Lascelles, Manquillo, and Darlow are pretty nail on there, but Clark and Lewis are very, very. Clark and Richie are very, very questionable. Not too sure how that's going to go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. In the midfield, I'm going to keep that the same, obviously, with Shelvey still being out. Not that I probably would have started him anyway, and I'm definitely not going to start Jeff Hendrick. So I do think we're going to go with a 4-3-3. Never really been Sean Longstaff's biggest fan under the Brucey era. Thought he was amazing under Rafa. Under Bruce, he's been bollocks. So hopefully now he can have a little bit of a lift. Hopefully he can be a little bit more confident. I think he's actually been all right the last few games. I think obviously scored a belter against Watford. Had a good game against Leeds. He's been all right recently. Like hopefully he has got the confidence now that Brucey's gone. Hopefully the shackles can be off a little bit. Have Hayden sitting as the rock at the back and join into a back 5 if he needs to. Joe Willock playing a lot further forward is more of a number 10 role, while Sean Longstaff tries to boss the midfield. That's what I want to see. And up front, I'm going for the same kind of formation that we played against Everton. I don't know about this. Obviously, it could be slightly controversial, and I thought it was when we played Everton. Honestly, to be honest, when I seen Wilson playing on the right and Miggy down the middle, I was raging. But to be fair, Wilson scored 2 goals that day. We won 2-0 thanks to Wilson. So I'm thinking maybe this is kind of Jones's formation. This is his style. This is what he implemented as soon as he came to the club. And then, unfortunately, a few games later, Wilson got injured. So Maximin, a couple others. I think Willock missed a couple of games. Manquillo got a big injury against Southampton. We lost loads of players. And we tried to keep playing with this formation that just didn't work. We're playing with Gale on the left and Fraser as a false 9, and it just didn't work. I think Brucey was trying to force it a little bit too much instead of changing it up. But you could tell that it was completely Graham Jones's idea. I think somebody mentioned it as well. I can't remember who it was. Somebody who's played with under Graham Jones. I think it was a former Everton player when he was with Roberto Martinez. I can't remember who it was, but he says this is Graham Jones's formation. This is his style. So I'm thinking that we might go back to that, playing with a false 9. Wilson maybe on the right-hand side. Miggy or Fraser. Nah, not Fraser. No. To be fair, when we did go back to this, Miggy was probably playing the best he's ever done because everybody knows he's more of a number 10. He's a central player. He's not the best on the wing. All he's really got is pace. That's about it. Down the middle, I think he's absolutely lethal. like he did when we started playing this formation, playing as that false nine, got a couple of goals, really good performances. Wilson was showing pace down that right hand side and being able to cut in and still score goals. So I think this works an absolute treat. Gives Maxi a little bit more to play on the wing instead of more central, which is where I know I prefer him. And I think he might prefer it as well, being able to run at fullbacks. This is the formation that I really, really like under Graham Jones. So I'm not sure. Personnel might not be the same. This would also mean leaving Joe Linton out, who I think's been playing really, really well recently. So you could maybe have, I don't know, Joey left, Maxi right, Wilson down the middle, or maybe Joey is a false nine, which I wouldn't really be opposed to because I think Joey has got like the strength. I think that's maybe where he could actually thrive in. Like he's not going to be playing as a number nine. It's a false nine, which is very different. Like, you can come back, control the ball, lump it up long to him if you need to him. He's got very good aerial ability, very good hold-up play. He's strong, so he can just pump the ball up down the middle, have Joey win the ball, lay it off to Smaxman. Smaxman, cut it in, Wilson, bang, 1-0, thanks, see you later. I think that could work, so I wouldn't really be opposed to Joey starting over Almiron, but I think Almiron really, really thrives in that middle part. There's a false nine or number 10, however you want to see it. I'm going to come back to your comments to see if you think I'm talking shite or not. Thanks, Nigel. Appreciate it. For saying we need defenders. Darlow in goal. Ryan saw Luis Diaz at the Copa America, best player for Colombia in the tournament. That's good to hear. I don't really know too much about him, to be fair, but we'll see. Callum doesn't know too much about Fonseca. What do you think of him becoming next manager? Not opposed to it. I'm the same as you. I don't really know too much about him either, but I've seen what he's done in his career. He's done a really, really good job wherever he's gone. So I don't know if he's going to be the right guy, but if you look at Man City, look what they did. Like when they first got taken over, they didn't have Guardiola day one. They didn't even have Roberto Mancini day one. They went through that fucking Kevin Keegan when he was like 90-year-old. They had Sven-Goran Eriksson at 106 years old. They had Mark Hughes. Like they went through a few different managers and didn't make top signings day one either. So I don't know if we're going to win a Premier League under Fonseca, but I think we'll improve, and that's the main thing at the minute. We're not going to win the league next season. Maybe it's even the year before. We need a manager really to come and lay foundations. If Fonseca signs a 3-year deal, I think maybe it's like a 4-year deal that he's agreeing on. If come the end of his contract, we're a top 6 team, great. I'm over the moon for that. Like, look at where we are now. Look where we've been under Brucey, even under Rafa. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel in the Premier League. So if Fonseca can come and get backed financially in a transfer window, push into the top 10, top 6, fantastic. He's the man for me. But going forward, whether we're going to win a league with him, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think it'll take a while for us to really start competing at the top of the league. I think the league's a lot more competitive now than it was like when Abramovich took over at Chelsea. Man City were just as bad as what we were when they got taken over. Like they're a new powerhouse, like Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, come and go. Sometimes not as good some years. Like it's just so competitive. Look at Leicester at the minute. West Ham, even Brighton's having a good year this year. So it's a competitive league. So I don't think we're going to win the league minute one. So don't think that Fonseca's going to win the Premier League. I don't know if you will. But as long as he can come and lay foundations down for us to be a better team and push us up the league, try and break top 4, fantastic. He'll do the job for me. Happy birthday, Arsene Wenger. 72 today. Yeah, he's not going to manage anyone. Anyone to suggest otherwise is mental. I think Fergie retired at about 69 or something. Like, nah, Wenger's done. Like I say, he'll be cushy in his FIFA job for the next few years and then retire. This is Josh's prediction. Darlow, Lewis, Shaw, Fernandez. Fernandez as captain, keeping Lascelles out with Manquillo, Longstaff, Willock, and Almiron is a centre mid with Julian on Wilson in the SM, maybe. Yeah. It's pretty much the same as what Brucey plays, to be fair. Just minus no Hayden there. Longstaff as DM instead of Hayden. I don't know. Richard says Lewis should start at left back. Richie played because when he benched, he had to go. What? Oh, yeah. I did. Jonesy will just take a fuck straight off. Brucey will be like, sorry. Sorry, Matthew. Sorry. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We'll be there. Well, things are done now. Takeover's done. Brucey's gone. Happy days. So performances might not be the best, but at least we've got something to look forward to. I'd rather not. With money and stuff involved now, like with a potential of a future, that doesn't include definitely DeAndre Yedlin. And Lejeune was too injury prone, so nah. Look forward, don't look back. Don't even suggest bringing likes of Kabai and Barr and Cisse back. Like, nah. Times are done now. Not even Rafa. I don't even want Rafa back anymore. Like, we've got to look forward now. Xavi's got a gun in January like his dog shit. All right, cool. Replace Clark with Fernandez. Yeah, to be fair, I'd probably do the same, but I don't know. Yeah, the other account says Clark is awful. I don't think he's had a very good year, to be fair. Like, so, yeah, if it is Fernandez or Shaw, then yeah, I probably would prefer to see that. I'm just maybe thinking that Clark's actually started the last couple of games, so might just be a little bit match sharper. That's the only reason that I've named an unchanged back four. Sports Direct signs out. Yes, I was a little bit disappointed. I know it was going to be early days, less than a week. Like, I don't think that was the new owner's number one port of call to get the Sports Direct signs down, but it would have been amazing. Like, with the atmosphere, with war flags back, putting the flags back in the Gallagher end, and just everything. Like, if them Sports Direct signs were down, really would have been the icing on top of the cake. But that's time for that. They'll be down, and it'll be a beautiful day when they do. Another one saying Lewis and Shaw. This is not time to experiment. It should be back five with Shaw trying. I get where you're coming from with that, but to be honest, attack, that's the best style of football. That's Kevin Keegan. Loved attacking. When we needed to buy a centre back, who did he buy? Faustino Espriella, another goal scorer. Like, that's just too boring and negative for me. Like, I think it is. Like, it's risky to experiment, so I get what you're saying, but Jones isn't that kind of manager. He's not going to sit back like Rafa did, Brucey did. I think Graham Jones is a more attacking footballer. That's why Gareth Southgate brought him up to England. He was working more attacking. So, I don't want to see five at the back. I'm sick of five at the back. I fucking hate it. Like, at times it works. And I think we get the best out of Fabian Shaw. I think Fabian Shaw's class when we play a back five. So he can get a bit more freedom. He can run forward, spray a long ball. But I don't want to see five at the back ever again in my whole entire life. Because Graham Jones has brains and knew Matt Ritchie wasn't a proper left back, I think bring Ritchie on as a sub. Yeah, could do. Yeah, I can see that if Jamal Lewis is going to start. Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Why is Shaw not playing over Clark? I don't know. He's playing at national level for country. Well, to be fair, so it's Clark. But yeah, he's definitely better than Clark. Clark can't get called up, can he not? Is he not there the last one? I can't remember, to be fair. Didn't really pay attention to England, to be honest. Thank you very much. Yeah, make sure that you're smashing them likes and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for these compliments. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Protect the non-league defense. Euros, Shaw back-pocketed Mbappe. Yeah. I'm not disputing that. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to see him start. Yeah, another one saying that Shaw should start. Yeah, another one. All right, lads, calm down. I'm just going off the last few games. Let's have a look. We've got a few more. All right, I'm just going to come back to them in a minute, show you what else I've got penciled up, which is the bench. Need to get rid of that comment. You're blocking it. You're blocking it, Ethan. Ethan. There we are. Right, bench. Gillespie. Shaw, who I think people might want to see start. Maybe Fernandez as well, and Lewis. So 3 potential starters there. I think only one of Shaw or Fernandez will start if it's not Kieran Clark. I think Lascelles will start as he's the captain. We've got Jacob Murphy there, of course, for right back / wing back / right back cover, right wing cover, whatever it is. Jeff Hendrick, who can just go and eat a fucking hot dog on the sideline, whatever he wants to do. Fraser, definitely would like to see more of Fraser. Big fan of him. Just obviously needs to stay fit. Julian might as well get a start. Not might as well. Might get a start. Done all right recently. Think he's been decent. And Gale's definitely just striker cover. He's not going to get a start well. Smaxman, Wilson, Miggy, and Joey's fit. So, yeah, Gale's just a bench warmer. So, Joey, Lewis, and either Fernandez or Shaw could get a start. Other than that, there's no one else to really go on the bench. Like I say, Shelby's out, Dubravka, Dummett, and Elliot Anderson. And I think the only one that I'm missing from this squad who is fit is Emil Kraft. He was my prediction that maybe he's missed out just because we've got everybody fit for a change, but them few that I've just mentioned, and Shelby being suspended. Sean Connery between injured and suspended. So Kraft misses out. I don't know. He could go in for Hendrick, I suppose. I don't know. It's just picking the best of a bad bunch, really. I don't know. Whoever you want to miss out can do for me. Right. Thanks very much for your contributions, everyone. I'm still going to try and read through all of these. So if you could slow it up. I've got tea to have. It's getting late. What time is it? It's 20 to 8. It's bedtime. Let's have a look. I'm going to keep going through these. Everyone's still bigging up Shaw. Front six is going to be, I think possibly we could be Brave with Murphy as a wing back. Hayden slips in the back. Oh, nah, it's lifting. I think we've got Shaw's biggest fan here. Longstaff getting his form back under Rafa, which is good to see. Yeah, absolutely agreed. I think he's been a lot better over the last few weeks. Still not Rafa style, but yeah, better than he's been over the last few years. Lewis over Richie and Shaw over Clark. Triple cells as the captains aren't bad. Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't even disagree with that point either. Yes, MC as he prefers playing in the number 10 as he can go left or right. Yeah, that's fair play. Yeah, I don't hate seeing ASM as the number 10, but or number 9, whatever he tends to play. But I just like seeing him go at fullbacks, to be honest. Like I just think just causing people a nightmare with his skill and pace. I love to see it. That's not better. I'm not sure if that's entirely true. Let's just get a look at that one. I think someone's looking for an argument. Yeah, like I'm not going to fucking stand down on that one. Joey does win the ball. He absolutely does. We'll see. Oh, aerial battles 1. Number 1. There we are. Aerial battles 1. Joe Linton 33. Like nearly 20 more than Kieran Clark in number 2. So Joey does win the aerial battles. Proof is in the pudding, my friend. There we are. Loads more than anyone else. Glad Graham's in now. It's going to prove Bruce's trend was the reason players got injured. Only 60 likes away from 100. Let's get them in, people. Love to see Sterling come to the tune. Hodgson 74. No, he just retired. That's mad. But I feel like that was a joke, and all. Like, but and it's true. I'm pretty sure it is. I know he's over 70. Like, I just feel like that's something that I would have said. Like, oh, he was fucking 92 or something. But I genuinely think Roy Hodgson is in his 70s. It's mad. Shaw again. Yeah, that's fair play. I would definitely take Ivan Toney back in January. Yeah, I don't know how much he'd be valued at. I know people will probably want to see more. I know people have got that heart set on £90 million transfers, the likes of Haaland and Mbappe, even the Colombian lad from Porto. But not Ivan Toney, English, scored goals in the Premier League. Not many. He's still young in the Premier League. He's only played like a handful of games, but bang them in the Championship. I think he could be a good addition, yeah, so why not? I think we need depth in attack. Like, we've only got Gale and Joe Linton. So, yeah, why not? Sharon Fernandez is the centre-back too. Yeah, same. Like, I'm still rocking the 90s, mate. I haven't got the top this year. I do fancy it, though. I want it. I might try and get it. Spent kind of few thousand on a house, so can't really afford a t-shirt at the minute. Nah. The it doesn't make a difference. I don't really care, even if there is a 4 on the shirt. So I don't hate the number 4. It's a good number. Served us well in the past, apart from Matty Longstaff. Yeah. How long will Lascelles be captain? Until we sell him. Probably in the summer. Let's see. Did you make the game on Sunday? No, I didn't. Busy painting, decorating. Nah, I didn't get there, unfortunately, but I will be at the Chelsea game. Got tickets to go next week. So yeah, if you see us at Chelsea next week, come say hello. Be happy to talk to everyone. I think I spoke about that before. Yeah, he could be. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. Reckon we should try and sign Zaha. I can't believe he's still at Crystal Palace, to be fair. Every transfer window that comes up, he's going to Tottenham or Arsenal or Man United. Like, I think he's too good for Crystal Palace. He's almost like Sir Maximin for Newcastle. Like, he is too good. But now, hopefully, we've got a little bit of spark where we can start building a team around him and give him some better players. So we'll see. Score prediction. Good question, Nigel, because I definitely did forget that. Score prediction. Ooh, like I've said, in the past few seasons, it's been very, very close. Last season at Selhurst Park was actually the biggest gap between us, a 2-0 win for us. So yeah, other games have been 1-0, 2-1, or 0-0. So a clear 2 goals was the biggest difference between us in the past 3 years. So hopefully we can recreate that. I still think it'll be close. I think we will have a bit of spark. I trust Graham Jones to lead us forward, whatever team he is, even if it's not what I've said. Like, I'm not asked, but I don't know. I think we've got that newfound spark. I think players are now fighting for a contract as well. I think they're going to want to be here for the long term and try and see out this project. It's an exciting thing for them. And if they don't pull a finger out their arse, then they'll just get sold and miss out on any potential glory that could come to Newcastle in the past few years, in the coming years. So, yeah, and with Graham Jones, trusting him. So I'm going to go with a scrapey, very close 2-1 win to Newcastle. DCL to the tune. I'd take him. I think he's a very good player. Big fan of Calvert-Lewin. So, yeah, I'd definitely take him. Joey holds the ball up well. How long do you think Graham will be in? Well, he has been confirmed for the next 2 games, Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Potentially Brighton away the week after that as well. I'm not too sure. So, I don't know. I don't think he'll be in too much longer. I think I wouldn't even mind if he stayed till the rest of the season, to be fair. So we did get the right guy in, just try and make the next appointment a good one who can see we're progress in the next few years. The guy who will lay them foundations down to help us be a Premier League winning side for the manager who takes over him. So I don't know. I think Graham Jones will be in for another 3 weeks maybe until we get the new appointment. Even if the appointment's like a little bit in advance, we might get sign Fonseca in the week before. And then Graham Jones. Right, I think that's going to be enough from me. Rabbited on quite enough. And my tea's ready. So I'm going to go and have a few more of these and a few tacos to celebrate. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Make sure you come back tomorrow to see the post-match content from Big Renty and Rubenstein down there already. Rubenstein's joined Renty in Southampton. And we'll be at the match tomorrow at Selhurst Park. So shout out them if you're going down and you see them there. And I'll be at Chelsea the week after that. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget, if you're just watching this now, to get your lineup prediction and score prediction in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, get it over 100, and make sure you subscribe as well, closing in on 14,000 subscribers. So thanks very much, everyone, and enjoy yourself.